Just a little curved I with no dot. Iota. That's going to be I sound.
Am I doing this right?
Yeah, you need to work on your thetas.
Yeah, we're going to thetas. You want me ready?
Start here.
Work on his status.
Watch this. Start here, go down, curve back up. If you need to pick up your pen, if you just want to do this, that's fine too. I don't care how you write as long as I can recognize it. Okay, so that's 10. Can I erase these?
Wait, what's that? What's the?
Iota?
Iota.
Iota.
Eon.
Just I.
Yeah.
Okay, just like a L.
Just I sound.
It.
I.
Oh, I
It's like it, or his, or this, or it.
And that's on the line.
Yep, it's on the line. Okay.
Grade 1. Yeah.
So,
Alpha, beta, gamma,
Gamma.
delta,
That's
epsilon, zeta, eta.
Eta.
That's kind of sloppy. I like that.
Eta.
K.
Eta, theta, iota, kappa,
Kappa.
kappa.
You don't pronounce that kappa.
We're gonna get to that.
Kappa.
Kappa.
See.
Right now, this is roughly how it would sound in Greek. All right, and when you're learning a language, pronunciation is important, even if it's a dead language. All right, if you wanted to go to France and you learned French, you'd speak it like the French spoke it, right? Now, we're not going to go back to ancient Greece and speak to any ancient Greeks, but when you memorize a new word, you need to memorize not only the way it looks on a page, you need to memorize the way it sounds. So if you have a consistent pronunciation, you're going to be able to memorize it better. So when I give you a word like theos, well, if you don't know how to pronounce your letters, then you just got to memorize what it looks like. But if you can read it and sound it out, and you have a good, consistent pronunciation, that's what's key here. Because these stars are going to go away in a minute. I'm going to take the stars away in a minute. All right, kappa, lambda. And lambda is on the line, lambda. If you see it written out, it's got a little b in it, but again, I don't care so much that you learn the spelling of, in English letters, of how it's spelled, but lambda. And that's just the L, this is the L sound, just like in our language. And notice, hey, notice the order here. A, B, D, E, I, K, L. The order is not too far off from our alphabet. There's a few extra letters here and there, but the order is pretty consistent. All right, mu. M, just an M sound. Now go ahead and pronounce after me. M. M. Do I need to do this one again?
Yeah.
Okay. So, lambda, just like this. Mu. And if you look on the bookmark, look at the capital mu. It looks just like an M, right? It is an M. So just down. New. We good? We good? New. Looks like a V. Don't let that trip you up. It's not a V. It's new. New. N. 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 N.
Just a bit.
Just a little V on the line. Alpha, beta. in a pen in my nose. All right. Xi. 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 Just like X. It's like you ask somebody a question.
So it's
Just Xi. Xi. Like, just say axe, like you ask somebody in the head. Axe. Xi. Yeah. Xi. It's not too, you're making it too silly. If you can say axe, or ox, or box, you can make this sound. We're gonna make it in the whole word in a minute, okay?
I'm fail.
Alright.
No, you're not.
I'm fail.
Alright, so on the line, it's got a little bit of a tail, okay?
Okay. Backwards 3.
Xi. The next one's pretty friendly.
Kasi.
Xi. Xi. Take the word axe and just say x. Yeah, that's it. Alright, the next one's pretty friendly. And hey, notice this. I didn't put any stars here. These sounds are in our own language. I, k, l. You make these sounds all day, every day. These sounds are not in our language, but these are everything that doesn't have a star in it. Well, that should have a star beside it. But, and this is in our language, just like axe or ox or box. Alright, next one. Omicron. That's probably the friendliest letter so far. It's just an O.
Yes, it is.
Alright, but I do want you to notice it's pronounced aw. Aw. Like if you didn't live in the South, and you caught a ball, or you bought some, you don't go to the store and I bought something. Not that. It's not all. It's just aw. Aw.
Like you just saw a pretty baby.
Exactly. Just that. Aw. Exactly. Beautiful. All right. Are we good with Omicron? Or you would need to go back for anything right now? Okay. P. The very soft P. It's even softer than that, really. It'd be more like B, almost like a B. The very soft P sound. B. It is a math symbol. Pipe.
Yeah, pipe.
Pipe. Remember what I said. Pronunciation is important, but since we're not going in a time machine to speak to an ancient Greek person, we're going to come up with sounds that work for us. I'm going to take these stars away in a minute once we go through the whole alphabet, and I'm not going to make you say anymore. I'm not going to make you say anymore. It's just going to be B and G. B-G. Alright? But it is important that you do have a consistent pronunciation. It is important that you have a different E sound than an A sound. Alright? And it is important that, that you do pronounce this X. Alright. P. Anybody need help with this one?
P.
It's on the line. P. Next one. Anyone care to pronounce the next one?
Sigma.
Nope.
No, it's
No.
P.
Oh. Was that on Rachel?
Yep.
Row. What is it?
Row.
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 Row, just like a row.
Alright.
Row.
Row.
It is an R. It is not a P. That one's a little tricky. Row.
Okay. Right now.
Okay, almost there.
But mine,
Now, Kiwi, you had the one that came after row.
Sigma.
Sigma. Two different ways of writing sigma. This is important. This is sigma when it's in the middle of a word. When it's at the end of a word, it's like that. You'll get used to seeing it. I'm going to take a break and as soon as we go through this, and then we're going to come back and we're going to read John 1:1 in Greek. Sigma. And it's just this, just an S, just like our S. Tau. Already? No.
So that first one, when it says,
Christian life is about endurance, you know.
that's a little,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Say that again.
You see the left side?
So in the middle or at the beginning of a word, it'll be written like this. This is how I write it. It's just a circle with a little thing.
I'm just trying to see what.
It's like a circle wearing a hat. And then this, at the end of the word, it's like a C with a little beard. So you need to memorize both of those and be able to write both of those.
Well, both of those are sigma.
Both of those are sigma. Yep. It's easy. And I mean, hey, we got one way of writing a letter if it's print and one way of writing a letter if it's cursive. So, you know, it's not so weird. Tau. Now, notice this. This is important, right? Repeat after me. Theta.
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 Tau.
Down.
Tau.
Like a D.
Almost like a D,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's a T. It's very soft T. So we've got, and then we've got T. This is aspirated. It's got that breath of air. This is soft. We go with with writing this one. It's pretty. It's just like a little capital T. You didn't even have to. It's not, if you wrote this, I would be upset. But a lot of time, most of the time, you'll see it and it'll be kind of curvy. Okay. Good to go on? Upsilon. Now this, notice I'm putting a star here. This is the first vowel I'm giving you that has a different sound than any vowel we have in English. It's not upsilon. 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 Yeah. Upsilon. Upsilon. Say E.
E.
And around your lips. E. E. It's like that. E. Yeah. Practice it. Practice it. E. Upsilon.
Why don't you say
Okay. So, alpha. 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 Beta. Gamma. Delta. Epsilon. Zeta. Eta. Theta. Iota. Kappa. Lambda. Mu. Nu. Xi. Omicron. Pi. Rho. Sigma. And I'm just going to write that one away for now. Tau. Upsilon. P. It's a P. P. But it's different than this P. This is P. Very soft. This is P. P. Chi. C. Omega. That's it.
Come on.
You sprint at the end of a race.
He was
Yeah, you spread it out and it's long.
Okay,
Let's see.
on the line, we've got P.
Okay.
Repeat after me.
Sure.
P. P. That's the sound that's not in our language. All right, it's that P with that extra. We have one P in our language. Greek has two P's. P, and then P. Okay. And it's just a circle with a little tail, right? If you want to draw it like this, if you want to just do that, that's fine too. You know, but it's a circle with a tail coming down. I'll write it up both ways so you can have both of those.
That's why it goes to be universal.
Hang on. I'm almost there. I'm gonna give up. All right. P, like Loch, like the Loch Ness in Scotland, like Bach. If you listen to classical music, Bach and Beethoven. More of a German sound than an English sound.
Scratch your throat.
Yeah, I bet they was spitting all over.
What it was awful.
All right. So we got P,
P,
P, Psi, Psi, Psi. It's just a P and an S together. Like in our words, yeah, like the word collapse. Collapse or caps lock, you know.
Peace.
Huh? What?
Say it again.
Well, like you hit caps lock on the computer, caps, or collapse. Someone collapsed because they worked too hard. It's just a P and S together. Looks like a little pitchfork.
Peace.
Yeah, or like. Exactly. Okay. Omega.
Oh, man, I know what
Omega. Capital Omega looks like a horseshoe. Lowercase omega is just a W, and it's just an O sound. Okay, I told you I was going to take the stars away. I'm going to take the stars away now. Here's how we're pronouncing them for the rest of class. Because this is not a spoken language anymore, I do think pronunciation is important. I think it's important you have a consistent pronunciation. But because some of these sounds are not in our language and we don't have to impress Socrates by how good our pronunciation is, we tweak some of them. So, b, beta, beta, gamma, g, delta, z, a, just like tooth. So we tweak that one. We tweak that one so that it's a little easier for us, all right? Theta becomes theta. Theta. Because we don't have two T sounds in English, we just have one T sound. So, theta. Like you go to movie theater. So, instead of b, it's just b. Instead of it's just g. Instead of t, it's just th. Iota is still I. Kappa, k. Again, this is how we would normally say it in English, so that's why I'm saying kappa, not kappa anymore. Lambda, mu, nu, M and N, yeah. Yep, xi, or xi. Sometimes we call it xi. It's still, this is still a K and X. We got this sound in our language. You can do it. Just like X, or hex, or box, or locks, xi. Omicron, pi, that's still a P sound. Pi. Rho, sigma, tau. This one you gotta learn. Alright, this is not upsilon, this is U. I'm making you do that one. U. The reason I'm making you do that is because when you see it written next to an omicron in Greek, we pronounce it oo, but when we see it by itself, it's pronounced ew. So if your pronunciation is good and you memorize the way a word sounds and the way it's spelled, then this sounds different than this. Okay? So ew. All right. This isn't P anymore, it's phi. Phi. There was not an F sound in Greek, but there is an F sound in Greek now. Phi. This one you still gotta learn. The reason why you gotta learn it is because it's different than this. Alright, this is kappa, kappa. This is psi, omega. Alright. One more time and then we're taking a break.
That's right.
Because we still got a lot to do. We're about to do John 1:1 in Greek. You guys gonna read Greek behind me? Ready?
I'm gonna go with you.
Okay. Oh, I'm already recording. I think this.
You gonna send that to all of us too?
I'm gonna put it on YouTube. You can look it up if you want. Oh, okay.
Is these the right books?
I need someone.
Why you
Which one you got? I listen to your dictionary, I want to do it.
All right, I apologize, guys, because I had
Put a
this.
dictionary in the back.
You don't get it running?
Oh, I had it running. It's just
I mean, get one.
You get one.
Yeah, I need one.
This is,
Okay.
one is a second edition, one is a third edition.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know about
Both those is fine.
Yeah.
They're looking good. Does anyone need to go over how to write them? Any particular letter?
Yeah, I mean, we ain't like me remember.
I know, but is there? And you can go back and you can practice if you wrote it well. You can go back and you can just sort of, yep. But you need me to go through and coach you through a certain letter again? No, okay. So one last time and then we're taking a break. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, psi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma. Remember, sigma is written two different ways. Tau, upsilon, phi, chi,
Say it.
chi. You gotta like clear your throat a little bit there. You gotta participate.
Try, man, I'm trying to learn.
Psi, omega. All right, let's take 5.
What's the test?
It's the last day of class. You don't have enough homework. You don't have to worry about the test yet. You're gonna do so much homework that you ain't gonna be worried about the test. I got 2 assignments for you. That's it.
That's all good.
Okay.
Leave the homework.
Y'all need a breath of fresh air?
Go walk. You never take breaks.
You never take breaks? All right.
Oh, no, we don't have to.
Y'all wanna take a break?
How long, if you don't mind me asking, how long do these classes last?
Y'all scheduled to be here 3 hours, ain't you?
Well, no.
Y'all will be here a little while tonight. I say you probably get out. You scheduled from 6 to 9, ain't it?
Yeah, we never stay in there.
Okay, well, you gotta learn a whole language, so if y'all take a stretch if you need to stretch, because we're about to go into reading and pronouncing Gospel of John.
What happened to the coffee?
I can make some if I can find those.
No, it's been gone.
Y'all take 5. I'll see if I can hunt down his coffee pot. Coffee bean.
Call my name.
Oh, this is it. Who wants coffee besides Kiwi? You want coffee?
Oh, man. man, I tell you.
Look at that.
Just got some
Mark,
cream.
don't kill it.
They also got some cream on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go make it in the kitchen. Come here.
Be scratched.
Tell me we'll be at 9 o'clock here tonight. I
I
wasn't,
asked Jason and Jess better come on here.
I'm thinking about my little baby. I'm gonna
Did she get it? Did she bruise herself?
Huh?
Did she bruise herself?
It ain't bruises. It's just weird.
Not.
Not.
She always running everywhere she go.
No, they do.
That's what they do.
No, they
And she had on some new sandals. Then time to put new shoes on, she had to look at them.
Yeah.
So she took off running. She tripped over her sandals
Mm-hmm.
and hit the door frame. My mother all crying. Sorry. I said, Mom, you should have pushed her down. I said, no, she gonna get hurt. She won't fall.
They ain't gonna
I
fight.
guess she'll slow down now.
I bet she won't.
Huh?
I bet she won't.
She slowed down for a little while.
When I saw
She
her,
go run.
when I saw her, she said, Dad. But she cried. That's it. She was like,
That was it.
You know,
To her, that's all.
when the knot scared me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad it came out instead of going in the knot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the doctor told us to
Keep
keep
her
her
awake.
keep her awake.
Mm-hmm.
If she do go to sleep, wake her up,
Wake her up.
and wake up to walk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so she okay. I ain't make sure she's all right before I come look with her. It was thinking week.
I know.
Somebody that made a game come on 8 o'clock.
Hmm.
Game come on 8
Who's playing tonight?
in the Boston and Milwaukee right now. Yeah,
Oh.
Who that?
Boston and Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Next for that.
I'm trying to, this is the only time I watch it. Just get down there.
Oh, yeah.
Who's keeping a mail? Anyone else?
That's
The
it.
next three, I'll take it.
Okay.
What you trying?
Jeez.
All right. Are you
You
good?
didn't get married? You didn't
I got you.
get, yes, sir. You didn't get one, you know?
This is my own list.
When I ordered the first one, it came and said dictionary. I said, that ain't right.
Mm-hmm.
Ordered another, the second one came and said dictionary. I said, well, that ain't no damn good. No, sir. I thought they was wrong.
So I just got to misunderstand. See, I said,
Yours don't say dictionary.
it says New Testament Greek.
I don't know what they said.
Huh?
That just said New Testament
I
Greek.
just got New Testament. That's what I had. All right.
And then see that, you know, we had,
Exactly what it is.
and we had this one when we first started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said we might look at
I
that.
mean, why was buying these books in you?
I said, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Why was
That couldn't do it, she didn't have.
Yeah.
Because the kind of amusement is when you spend money on.
No.
You go to the show,
The bookshelf make you look small.
Yeah, yeah, right. Hmm? And then they at home next week.
Mm.
And then I forced them.
Call him, take a picture of your papers.
She actually push your food from.
Who? Oh, no.
How you say that?
Prayer comfort, baby. Prayer comfort.
She asked me to preach. I told her I couldn't do it.
Who?
She asked me to preach. Yeah.
Ain't you got a pastor?
I thought she was passing with you.
All right, so
Shanique.
it's brewing.
Mama ain't pastor.
Oh, no, but I thought she was.
Yeah, she is.
She is.
Man, he tight. Yes, Jeff gonna preach. I can't. Do what?
Yeah,
That's a long.
So the Greeks only used capitals at the beginnings of people's names and place names, not often at the beginning of sentences. Usually a sentence will start with a lowercase letter. Coffee stolen.
Thank you.
It's
It's
gone.
fine.
So that's why I really want you to just practice lowercase letters. But I gave you the bookmarks because you still got to be able to look up the correct book of the Bible we in. All right, so in lowercase.
Oh, yeah, not being fun, I don't even know how to take notes in the class.
All right, so from now on, from this moment on, everything I write on the board, you write down on your notebook.
Okay.
And I'm about to walk through half of what our assignments and the test is going to be. All right, repeat after me. Kata,
Kata.
Yoane.
Say again.
Kata,
Kata,
Yoane.
Yohanan. Yohanan.
Anem, and notice alpha, nu, eta, nu. Anem, Yoane.
Yohane,
All right, so we see that in iota can be like a Y sound. Yohane. That's John's name, and that's where we get Johann from. That's John's name in Greek. So kata Yohane means according to John, the gospel according to John. In capitals, it looks like this. Kata Ioane. The only one that's really weird is the omega. The other ones are pretty straightforward. That's not H, that's eta.
You said according to John.
According to John, yep. That's why, if you ever go to like Episcopalian church or Lutheran church or Catholic church, and they'd have the gospel readings, it's the gospel according to John. That's the formal title. Find it in your Greek book. Find it in here. Remember, it's the fourth book of the New Testament. So we're going to start at John 1:1. Anyone who wants coffee, come on and get it.
How we go find it?
All the fixings are over here.
Okay.
Once you find it.
the little foot cake,
No.
that ain't gonna
Oh,
happen.
you're going to wait too far, man.
That ain't gonna happen.
Remember, it's the fourth book.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Copy the one.
Curly your arm.
Yep, so find the beginning of it. The beginning of it. Don't need your coffee.
Yes, sir. 376.
We got about a minute and a half left for it to finish brewing. Everybody got this written
The
down?
word became flesh.
Amen.
320.
Y'all wrote that down, right?
We need to write the capital down too.
Yeah, so you can find it. You can copy it off the page if you found it on the page.
I see it up there. K-A-T-A.
Open your English Bibles. Again, preferred translations are King James, New King James, RSV, ESV. I've got an ESV right here if anyone wants to use it for class. I really like the ESV. Whenever you see standardized version in the title, standardized version usually means that version is modeled off of the King James version. They took that as sort of a starting point. Turn to it, but turn your Bible upside down or put a bookmark in it because I want to look just at the Greek for now. This class is really about Greek appreciation. I'm not going to hammer you guys with grammar. We're going to talk about grammar a little bit. When you write this on your page, here's how I want you to do it. I want you to write it out in Greek letters across across the page, and I want you to skip 2 lines, and then write the next one. And I'm going to start. I'm going to have to learn how to do this so that I maximize my use of the board out. There's no way to go to subscript there. When you learn that it doesn't. Practice it a little bit here and there. You get it. I want to get some coffee.
I ain't writing nothing. Who? Is that gonna be full?
How far are y'all? Who's here at the second logos?
I am.
You passed it? Okay.
My favorite bill.
Skip 2 lines. You might need to skip 4 lines. Skip a couple lines and go on to the next line. Go ahead and grab your coffee. You okay?
I don't get frustrated. This here is.
Come get it.
You gonna get it?
Get it. Get on with the cup.
Keep in my Friday love.
Watch me. Start at the bottom. Go back up. It helps when you're a person who starts at the bottom of the line. Most people start at the top when they write their letters. I've always started at the bottom, so read that. Click with me that way.
Oh, I'm sorry, brother. You trying to write now? Hold on to that.
No, you know, it's.
Okay.
Okay. I'll do mine black.
I'm tired.
You finna write your car?
Yeah.
You wrote on it? How many days y'all been in group?
We probably got a half hour. We got 30 minutes on it.
When you look at it, you don't know what you're looking at.
That's like what I see.
We ain't gonna focus too much.
Yeah, go get in your Zen mindset.
Huh?
Get in your Zen mindset.
I go home and practice on it.
Y'all remember John 1:1 off the top of your head?
In the beginning was the word.
Can you go on?
The word was God. The word was with God.
That's as far as we got on the board right now.
call you?
Yeah, you can call me. Well, I took up all the space here. 803-374-7035.
Shane, you kill that air too if you want.
You get cold?
Yeah, I got a bad shoulder, I can feel it.
You're getting coffee right now?
She did.
She getting it for you?
Yes, sir.
I don't know if this ever come in anyway.
I ain't think I don't know you.
I don't see it very well, but he thinks it might.
Okay.
Tomorrow, or not, I keep saying tomorrow.
Just want to
Nick,
taste it.
What?
Cause I don't know, you
why'd
might
you put it, why'd you put it in the microwave?
Because it was like clumpy, and I thought it'd make it a little soft.
It's good, right there.
It's because you're supposed to drink the coffee black.
No.
How far, are you here yet?
Oh, that's,
You on the last one? Okay.
yeah, y'all know I do me this last car.
Man, I don't know about that.
Y'all get me this one.
You don't get it, man. I got confidence in you, bro.
Okay.
Get real close to the Holy Spirit, maybe he'll just give you a tongue time.
Don't need some.
It's not bad, we're gonna go slow.
Nah,
I could, if we were doing this as a real college class and we were spending 2 semesters or 3 semesters doing it, we would do a lot of memorization. I'd make you memorize a lot of different forms to make the words more recognizable. For each, when you look up a word in a Greek dictionary, if you look up a verb, there are 6 important different forms for most verbs. So, so if you learn like the verb Lego, you typically learn it as Lego, Lexo, Apon, Lelemai, leg thing.
y'all know I do me this last.
And the reason why you have to do that is because Greek, if you think about language like a toolbox, you know, like there's 100 different ways you can fasten something to something else. You can use a screw, you can use a bolt, you can use glue, you can use a hammer and nail. Well, when a language finds a useful way of doing something, it tends to do it that way. And different languages work different ways. So the Greek toolbox involves you learning a bunch of different stems and being able to manipulate those stems and add prefixes and suffixes to change the word. In English, we use a lot of helping verbs, right? Because in English, if I want to talk about walking, I walk, I will walk, I walked, I have walked. We use a lot of helping verbs, but Greek clumps it all together in one word, which is why I was telling Recorder, if we were doing this as a traditional college class, you would be learning a lot of different forms of verbs, and a lot of different forms of nouns. And we're going to talk about those different forms and why they're important, but kind of just in passing, this is my number. Recorder asked for it if y'all wanted to write it down. 803. Is it Recorder?
That's why you got it right.
Yeah, you got it right. We didn't say recall.
Well, I've been walking down the highway. I walk my dog down here, and I pass that sign, and every day I'm like, they got his name spelled wrong. They got his name spelled, but that's how you spell it. All right, 803-374-7035. Y'all got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, put it
Y'all
on there, boy.
call me up if you have any questions. Marty, gave me
That's
all
over.
those.
That's over.
Okay,
Yeah.
repeat after me. In Ache.
In
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 Ache.
Ache.
Arche.
Arche.
Yeah, that's the R. Remember the R there.
Arche.
Shade.
In Arche.
Arche.
Ain.
Ain.
That's just Ada Nu. Ain.
And
Ain.
Ha.
Ha.
Logos.
Logos.
In Arche.
Arche.
Ain.
Ain.
Ha logos.
Logos.
In Arche. Ain ha logos.
Logos.
Ha logos.
Logos.
Ha logos.
Logos.
Ain ha logos.
Ain. Logos.
In Arche. Ain ha logos.
Arche. Ain. Logos.
In beginning was the word. And I'm not going to capitalize it because it's not capitalized in Greek. In beginning was the word.
I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna mess somebody up.
Are you going to be doing that all day?
What you say?
I'm recording it.
I know. This is for me.
Okay, but how long are you planning on doing that? Because it's kind of distracting.
oh,
You got a bright light shining in my eye right now.
What a light on.
We ain't gonna be able to do this the rest of class.
Beginning.
And it is still recording, just so you know.
so, go to YouTube.
Can I get you say it one time?
Okay, one more
And
time.
you ain't in the video now.
But
Your face ain't in there.
well, that's fine. It's just there's a bright light like shining in my face. All right. In Arche, Ain Halogos.
N-R-K, Logos.
Arche.
Ain
Ain.
Halogos.
Logos.
There we go. Thanks, sir.
I'm not gonna distract you then. That bothers you, man.
I don't know why that would bother me. I mean,
Only.
all right. So on the side somewhere, you can write this. This is an important, useful word to know. Was comes up a lot in the Gospel of John.
Well. So it don't say NW?
And in beginning was the word.
In beginning, not in the beginning.
In beginning was the word.
Put the in
The
the.
last word is, are you?
No, I haven't done that yet.
I'm stupid. Yeah. In beginning was.
And off to the side, you might write halogos and define that, because that's a good word to know. Good word to know.
Charisma. Charisma.
Kerugma, message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Kerugma is an important word to know too.
Now, what was you saying about was?
It's just a good word to know. Nice, simple word. Write it off to the side. Ain means was.
Okay.
You know, write it off to the side, and then that can be a little block for you to keep, little building block for you to keep in your head as you go through and read this stuff. In the beginning was the word Kai. Kai. That's a very useful word too. Y'all need to write that off to the side too. It means and. Because even if you don't recognize anything else on the page, if you know Kai, you can go through and you can at least tell where the sentences are broken up and where all the different words are broken up. Kai is a really simple word, easy to remember. Where do we go from there? What's the next? From memory, anyone? In the beginning was the Word, and
The word
Word
uh-huh.
was
was God.
Word was with
with
the God.
ah.
Don't get offended by the fact I didn't capitalize it. Only reason I didn't capitalize it because it's not capitalized in Greek.
Oh.
It's just the writing convention. Doesn't mean that he's not the one true God. It just means that there ain't no real reason to capitalize it. And notice this. All right, I've got the here,
Yeah.
ha, and over here I've got.
It's different.
And then it's different. You just file it away. We'll talk about it in a minute. And y'all need to be writing this right underneath your translation, word for word. That's what we're doing. And there's that word "and" again. And God was the Word. All right, so y'all repeat after me. Anarche,
And
ain,
name,
hologos,
Logos,
kai,
I,
hologos,
Logos,
ain,
and
pros,